He is going to drop the throw. Fires deep along the right sideline for Alec Pierce. He's got it! Touchdown! Touchdown! Alec Pierce spikes it into the end zone. Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! A 32-yard grab over the shoulder snag.
Good evening, everybody. Coming on to kick it with us tonight as we celebrate a most embarrassing loss in probably in Colts history, where we blow the biggest comeback ever in the NFL, being up 33-0 at halftime, losing 39-36 in Colts fashion. You know, so at the bottom we got trash. All right, how's everybody doing tonight?
The Colts finally made history, bro.
Oh, we've made a lot of history.
We're going to the Hall of Fame this year with that shit.
Yeah, bro. That shit was wild. But the funny thing is, I was more mad when we were up 33-0 than when we started losing. We started losing. I started cheering. I was finally moving.
Me too. I was pissed. It's like, what are we doing? We're going to screw around and win this game.
I remember saying to my mom, she commented on one of my posts early on when I was like, what are we doing? Like, what's happening? And I was like, there's still plenty of time for us to lose this game. There's still plenty of time for us to lose this game. If anything showed against the – man, we literally have been the laughing stock of the NFL for the last 2 games that we played. So for the last 3 weeks, what was it, Monday night against Dallas, 33 points in the fourth quarter alone. And then today, where we were up 33-0. That's wild. 36-0 actually, weren't we at one point?
No, 33-0. It was 36-7.
That's right.
Damn.
That's right, man. I mean, that's wild, man. And a lot of people want to blame it on Jeff Saturday. People saying it shows his inexperience, man. I don't know who to blame it on. But people are crazy. Me and D saw somebody sitting there blaming the defense. They were like, we lost.
You kind of have to.
No, you can't.
We've got outscored by 64 points the last 2 games in the second half. We got to have some debate here. How can you?
If y'all want to debate it, we could debate it.
We could definitely debate that right now because look, if you look at today alone, that defense was on the field longer than they've been on the whole game, just in the third and fourth quarter.
But they had a 30-point cushion and fucked around and found out and lost.
Because we got Matt Ryan again. We got fucking Ryan. Like what?
Okay, so put it like this. Put it like this. Our offense had 7 of those 36 points. You're telling me that as a defense and as a special teams, we're supposed to put up 36 or 30 or 29 points, and our offense can go out there and put up just 7?
No. Realistically, in this game, the defense gave our offense a 33-point cushion.
Here's my thinking. You have, as a defense, they always say, you just need one stop. You get us one stop.
2. They got multiple stops.
They got 2 in the fourth alone.
Right.
The Vikings punted 3 times in the fourth quarter. You know how many first downs the Colts got? The Colts offense got off of those 3 punts?
Probably 2.
We got 2 first downs off of 3 punts,
and then we got one in the overtime. We made a stop.
There was one. I think it was at the 5-minute mark. I think Matt said we got the ball. They punted to us. Matt said, "Oh, great, that's awesome. Our offense held the ball for 37 seconds."
37 seconds, bro. It was the 7-minute mark. I think it was like
you're telling me
it was like 8 something. We got the ball back, and then I was like, "Oh, let's go ahead," because we were down at like the 2-yard line, our 2-yard line. I was like, "Cool, we could make a long drive out of this." But no, instead we held the ball for 30 seconds. They got the ball back before the 7-minute mark. They punted it to us at the 8-minute mark.
So I don't disagree, but I also say this comes on defensive coaches for whatever you did in the first half. Clearly, Minnesota adjusted. I thought part of good quality coaching is making appropriate adjustments.
You can't allow 400 yards of passing in the second half. Period.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at the. Yeah, go ahead.
Because we got me and Zach got to come to our defense a little bit here too.
Like,
okay, but 400
it's your job as a defensive coordinator to Oh, we played good first half. We can't turn around and use that same game plan in the first half because Minnesota is going to come out and pick it apart, and that is exactly what we did. Offensively this year, it's a lost cause, in my opinion. The best offense the Colts have is 3 plays and a punt because they're so inconsistent. Matt Ryan's a turnover machine, and it's just ridiculous. But defensively, this loss, in my opinion, weighs more so on the defense than it does on the offense because the offense we know is consistently bad. The one thing that the Colts have had all year consistently is a quality defense. And the one time this year, the one time we give them 30 points, we scored 30 points. That is 14 more
The
than what we
defense and
normally
special
score.
team scored 30 points.
Either way, we give the defense a 30-point cushion, and you couldn't keep it.
But see, that's where my disagreement is because our offense didn't give our defense a cushion. Our defense and our special teams gave our offense a cushion, and our offense decided to be soft with it. We had a pick six, a blocked punt. We had 3 or 4, maybe I think even 5 different drives in the first half that started on their side of the field because the defense made plays.
I don't disagree with you.
But my issue is like I've played defense too, and me and D kept saying this all game. I don't like to blame refs, but in that second half, there were multiple times on third down where a flag was thrown that shouldn't have been, and that's a killer. That's a killer, and that's killer. That's killer for a defense. If you ever played defense and you made a stop on third down, and there was a flag that shouldn't have been thrown, that's killer, man.
Yeah,
that's killer.
There's
a lot to blame. There's a lot to be blamed. If I'm going to say anything, there's a lot to be blamed.
Here's my question, though.
Like this to me, though. Like,
go ahead. Hold on. Let Damon talk.
Here's my question, right? So we knew we talked about this a couple weeks back. Justin Jefferson is going to get us for what? 200? Yep, we were making up Madden numbers over here. 150, 200, 250 yards, right? You figure your game plan is to neutralize that guy. So that guy went for 200 yards. KJ Osborne went for 150 yards. Dalvin Cook went for another 100 yards receiving. Where's the adjustments? Where's the scheme? Why are we not crafting? Oh my God, we're getting beat everywhere.
Can't stop them all. I mean, that's what all pros are.
Okay, but here's my thing. I said it early in the game. It came down to what Gus was doing defensively. The one drive that I said it on, Okereke made a play, but they were utilizing mismatches inside in the interior. They were putting these dudes on the inside and putting tight ends on the outside. So they were taking Stephon Gilmore out of the play. They were taking Isaiah Rodgers out of the play. And in my opinion, Okereke, he can play the outside on a tight end. That tight end was not fast. Hawkinson's not fast. He's not going to burn Okereke down the field.
Okay, so my point is here, Zach and Damon. You talk about putting it on the defense, and the defense had a 30-point cushion or whatever it is. And you say it's the responsibility of the defense to keep that lead down. Well, the offense had a total of 7 points and 200 total yards of offense. What is the responsibility of offense
this year?
No, not this year. I'm talking about a offense. What is your responsibility?
Obviously, in offense, you want to be able to put up points and put up yards and allow your defense to rest. I feel like if your defense has to play more than 30 plays a game, you fucking suck as an offense.
Okay,
now this year's
so how can we put this on the offense if you can't even put up offense or you can't put up yards? The least you should be able to do is take time off the clock. Shorten the game. And they couldn't do that. So how can you sit here? That's like if we're sitting here playing and you're going out there for 3 plays and I'm going out there for 15 plays at a time. How is that even at all? How does that work? You can't sit here and tell me that we're just going to blame our defense for every issue that was there. And we can sit here and try and say the defense had this cushion. They gave themselves the cushion. You're the offense. It's just like when we play. It's just like when we played the Dallas Cowboys last week. The defense was keeping the Colts, Colts offense off the field while it was 19-21. And then what did the Dallas Cowboys offense do? Boom! They rolled our ass for 21 points.
I'm not arguing with you about what should be done. I completely agree.
Hey,
what I'm arguing is once they got to that cushion, why weren't the adjustments made to keep Minnesota off balance?
That's it.
No,
That's
the-
it.
the
And DeMarco,
adjustment-
I
That
promise
is
you,
all that I'm arguing.
I'm not trying to
Yeah.
argue with y'all either. Like you just can't allow 40 points after halftime.
Right.
No, I understand
That's
that, but
it.
the adjustment that was made
That's
was
it.
to go to that cushion defense and back them up.
And when has that cushion defense ever done shit for us?
I mean, that's
Never,
prevent
never.
defense.
Never.
That prevents wins.
Exactly.
So what I noticed in the
they
game-
pushed it back is everybody they was trying to play it deep and keep from getting beat deep.
So what I noticed when they made that change to go soft was
That's when they started eating.
was after Osborne beat us deep.
Exactly.
We ended up getting it back because he didn't complete the catch. So it ended up coming back. But that was the play we ended up getting beat, which is crazy because that was zone coverage. Who got beat was the safety. The safety went the wrong way, and Osborne just ran right past him. So we should have never backed off of these receivers, because the thing is Stephon Gilmore in the first half was playing man press on JJ and was taking him out. He kept him out because JJ wasn't running free reign to run his routes. He was disrupted early every time he came off the line. Same thing with Osborne, and that's why Kirk Cousins had no time to throw. He was holding the ball. And then once Osborne got that free run down the field when Rodney Thomas got beat, even though he dropped it, that's when Gus was like, "Oh, we got to back off. They're gonna start beating us now."
And pass rush looked good.
I mean,
Yeah,
we had 7 sacks, 2 interceptions, a pump block for a touchdown. I don't give a damn what anybody says. This game is not on that fucking defense. I don't even care if we send our third stringers back out on the field and they got torched that way. There's no fucking way offense can go out there and they can't give you 15 minutes of freaking just running the ball, getting some first downs, and getting the clock ran off.
Right. In
That
the
is
first
just
half,
ridiculous.
in the first half, all 3 phases were working. In the first half, all 3 phases were working, and then in the second half, there was only one that worked for maybe a drive, and then they just couldn't keep up anymore. Even Hack started punting funny. He didn't even look the same punting.
Terrible.
Special teams weren't playing coverage the same in the second half. It was like in the second half, it's like they went into halftime and they're like, "Hey, I don't want to play anymore. We can't win this game."
They went into halftime and they said this game is over, guys. That's what happened.
And then Vikings said no. You can't let Kirk Cousins do that. Kirk Cousins is a guy that's a game manager. He will pick you apart. You just can't play back. I want to answer Nathan's question though, because he did ask it twice. Do we draft a left tackle or QB?
We are going quarterback.
Quarterback. I brought the second question up because the first time he asked Levis, and I didn't really want to piss off D yet.
You're not gonna piss me off with it.
But this is 100% facts too. He said the offense didn't work. First down run, second down run, third down screen. We talk about this all game long. I mean, we're in our group chat. We're talking about all game long. We ran that wide receiver screen to MPJ, I think, over 10 times.
Every time on third down.
It was every time on third. It was more than that because we ran it in the first half. Didn't work. We got to go back and watch that tape. I think it was more than 5. It seemed like every time we had the ball on offense, we ran that play.
It was every time we either ran the screen or we threw it to Pittman, period. I mean, me personally, like, I love Pittman. I mean, I think he's a dog. He has dog mentality, but he is not an explosive receiver.
Nope.
He's a chain mover. You need to keep him going forward. He's not a guy you can keep running on screens, and we do this shit religiously. It's like part of our goddamn theme. Guys, geez, it just pissed me off. All we were doing was Pittman, screen to Pittman. And it's like, geez, dude, run Doolin, run Campbell, get a guy with some speed to get the ball in his hands. Like, and we just kept running it. And obviously anybody can sit there and call it and see it. Yeah, man, I mean, it's just, this is something that's been a part of our offense for a long time here. It's part of that Frank play calling. I honestly, in the first half, our play calling looked completely different. It looked like we had a new offense. Everything looked different. Our gap scheme looked different. Our offensive line was playing with push. Matt Ryan had time in the department. Yeah, we had our tight ends involved. We were featuring Jelani Woods for most of that first half.
Bro,
he still ended with only 1 catch for 27 yards, which is insane. And then there was
that one catch, and then we stopped giving it to him.
Yep, and then there was multiple times again where Matt Ryan is looking at Paris Campbell being wide open, looks somewhere else, runs and get sacked. I mean, this is just ridiculous, and it's every time.
I think our offense was scripted, So once they get
The
off
whole
script,
game.
and once you force Parks to not be able to go on script and force him to adjust, you see what happens. He calls the same like 7 plays, 8 plays. That corny screen you guys hate. I hate those dives like right up behind Ryan Kelly because they literally get 2 yards. Like there's no creativity.
So I want to comment on that too. Zach Moss was killing it on the stretch plays.
Yeah,
Outside runs. Every time we ran an interior run, he got stuffed. But anytime we stretched the field, he was able
got
to
that-
cut in the hole. He'd get 3 to 4 yards. I'll take 3 to 4 yards.
he's got a
I'll
good jump cut,
Three,
and they don't do anything with it.
right. Three plays a drive with 3 to 4 yards, you're getting a first down every time.
And that's not knowing your personnel.
Yeah, just
That's
stretch the
laziness.
field.
That's
and
just
like
laziness.
I said, that's another thing on offense. Like I don't like me personally. I'm a running back, dude. I've played quarterback before. I don't care what it is, what it is, or whatever you got to do. Your defense gives you, or your offense puts up points to give you a lead. As a defense, it's your job to hold that lead. When your defense and your special teams is going out there and making plays and you're on offense, your job is to take the time off the clock, convert third down, be efficient. And on offense, we just haven't done it consistently over and over and over and over and over again. And this is what it's been pretty much all year. So that's where I'm at with that, and it's just ridiculous.
Nathan asked, why not throw the ball to Pierce? I'm pretty sure it's because Pierce just isn't getting open.
He's not separating.
I mean, it's
He's
not
not
even
separating.
it's not even that. I mean, it's not. We're not scheming for anybody outside of Michael Pittman.
Yeah, Pierce was targeted 5 times today.
I mean, the only person we're scheming for is Pittman.
Every time Pierce got targeted, though, he had no separation at all. It was like 0. It was just jump balls every time. So,
I mean, that's what he said. That's what I mean. That's what. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's got to be him to just make those plays. Like if you look at a guy like, I mean, it's going to take him a little while to get used to it and whatnot. But if you look at the perfect comp for him is Mike Williams over with LA Chargers. It's like you got to be a big guy that's going to make contested catches. I mean, that's what he's going to do. He has some speed to, break away a little bit, but that's mostly what he's going to have. It's going to be contested catches, and he's just got to make some plays. And at the same time, there was some balls that Matt Ryan threw that weren't even like close. I mean, there was the one I think that was on a 3rd down where Pittman's looking for the ball over his shoulder, and the ball is back here. I mean, like these balls aren't even – they're not even plays to be made by the receivers. So, I mean, it's tough watching our offense, man. I mean, it consistently goes on, and I kind of was noticed that when we were up, I think about 23 or something like that to 0. And I noticed our offense really hadn't done anything. And it was just like, okay, how's the rest of this going to go?
Yep. Trash. I don't know if you guys ever seen that video, but there's this guy on TikTok that he got mad at the Dallas Cowboys. I think they lost to the Packers. And he was like, Dak Prescott, trash. Dallas Cowboys, trash. Losing the fuck Packers, trash. Like, dude, it's so funny. I don't know. It's hilarious. That's all I kept thinking about. My coworkers hit me up and they were like, trash. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. Yeah, we're trash. There's nothing else to say about it, bro. I couldn't even try to defend these guys. I was like, hey, we're tanking. People were like, this doesn't make sense to tank and be up 33-0 at one point in a game. And I'm like, well, you can't make it look obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, the defense had made it clear they don't want to tank, but it's clear this offense just doesn't know what else to do.
I mean Quentin liked that post you guys shared the other day, and in the group chat we were in. Colts are tanking. Quentin Nelson like this. So I mean, offensively, he's not even trying. I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be ready for a new quarterback himself. I think he's getting tired of the old guy.
Speaking of new quarterback, this is for DeMarco.
Yep.
I have watched nothing on this guy.
So this is for everybody out there. This is it was supposed to be a rant about quarterbacks because we honestly thought. I kept telling all these guys I thought we were gonna beat the Minnesota Vikings, and it was gonna be one of those games where it was just like, why are the Colts winning? And
it was one of those games
and it was until we started. But basically, this was every quarterback under the sun. I mean, I can't even name how many quarterbacks that everybody's sitting here talking about, like who we should get. It's not even my problem with it is not even rookies. Like first, like we're watching these clips of Will Levis here. I've not been a Will Levis fan. There isn't any games where I've saw him do anything that was as far as spectacular, leading his team, showing intangibles, doing different things of that nature to bring his team
What's
back.
up, Daniel?
He also lost this game right here that they're showing against Florida. So it's just been one of those things. And then people comparing him to Josh Allen and stuff like that. I don't see it. I really don't see it. If you look at him in any of the big games that he's played, they just falter. They just did not finish the game out well. So I wasn't high on Will Levis, but what I will tell you is that people sat here and they've checked off the box for everybody, whether it be see how the highlight cut off. That's because he didn't win the game. He had no highlights for the rest of the fourth quarter. But it was Jacoby Brissett. It was Baker Mayfield. Oh, look at him. He showed up for 2 days. It's Sam Darnold. Are we going to trade for Zach Wilson? Are we going to go for Jordan Love? Are we going to go for Geno Smith? Like, I mean, is Peyton going to come out of retirement? What about Andrew Luck? He's still there. I mean, that's 8 quarterbacks that just really are like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
And I want to talk about this Andrew Luck thing too, because I got a rant for this too.
Like,
stop talking about bringing Andrew Luck in as a coach.
Exactly. I mean, stop thinking of bringing him back as anything. Like, I mean, the guy
hasn't
played for 5 years.
If anybody had read the article that he allowed the story that he put out, clearly does not want to be in the NFL.
Exactly. And there you go, Daniel, for a reason. Daniel right there. Hashtag tank for the future. Exactly. The future. So me personally, I don't care who we get. I will get off of the hate Will Levis train. Hopefully he works out if that's where it goes. But me, I am down for any rookie quarterback in the 22 NFL draft. You get us a young guy, you start us over, we get in a new direction, and we cut this whole umbilical cord on. Go get every fucking quarterback. Like, Colts fans are just irritating the shit out of me. They could see some guy in the park complete a pass to his dog and they want to hire that guy to come be the quarterback for the Colts. It's just exhausting, dude. Exhausting. Get over each and every quarterback. That's not how it works. And if half of the Colts fans were GMs, this franchise would be in the ground.
Word. I mean, yeah, that's kind of. How do you follow that, folks? That's wonderful.
I mean, you gotta go down another rabbit hole, though. I mean, what coach, what future Colts coach is sitting here watching these college quarterbacks going, "This, if I'm a Colts coach, this is my guy." You know what I mean? Like, there's so much uncertainty.
I mean,
I don't know. I think plenty of guys in this draft have major upside.
Yeah, I'll say this: there's tons of dudes who are like this guy on the screen right here. I mean, I don't know much about him, but like, look at that athleticism, his speed, his agility. I mean,
you can
like this dude's a freak. With proper coaching, he could be. You know, I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't be mad if he ended up being like Lamar. Dude has that kind of ability and that kind of speed.
You can watch Bryce Young's career. You can watch C.J. Stroud's career. The highlights from Will Levis. The highlights from Anthony Richardson. This play right here was like, oh my Jesus, the world went nuts and was calling him Heisman week 1. I mean, the guy's only been a starter for 1 year, so that's why I can see why people can question it. And it's just like a lot of these guys have upside that just pops off the field. And I mean, like, it's just something that you need and you can take advantage of. And all you need is a good quarterback, and a good coach. Offensive play caller. That's another thing I want to get to you guys about and see where you guys are at with that. But I think a lot of these guys have plenty of upside.
I mean, to me, this coach, whoever the new coach is, whoever the OC is, and whoever the quarterback coach is, that relationship along with the new quarterback will be imperative to figure out what the Colts are going to get, who they're going to go after. I mean, obviously, we all, at least I know, most of us want Harbaugh. I mean, if you go out and get a Harbaugh type coach, you're going to turn around and then get a guy like
Harbaugh kind of guy. This is like a Harbaugh kind of guy we're watching.
You're going to go out and get a Kaepernick kind of guy, which is exactly Richardson's play style, the ability to move. Or is he going to do what he does at Michigan and go out and get a big arm quarterback who can move a little bit in Levis or any of these other quarterbacks they have? I mean,
just to update for you guys, all of the offensive linemen on this line in Florida here were 3-star offensive linemen coming out of high school. They were just ranked the number 1 offensive line in college football because of that quarterback right there.
They played like it. I mean, the only quarterback who I have major questions about is because he has a knee injury, and that's a Hooker.
Hendon Hooker.
I mean, the system that he plays in is that veer and shoot. I don't know how much of offensive brains you guys are, but like that system is pure wonky. And then on top of it, Hooker being like he's hurt with a knee injury, so he's out this year, and he's like 26 years old already, so it'll be like a 27-year-old rookie. I mean, in today's NFL, he could probably play 10 plus years, but are you willing to wait that long? Usually, you draft a guy early, first and second round, you expect first and second round early returns.
Yeah,
and a guy like Hooker, you got to run that Hooker offense too, like you said, Zach. That's not a guy that I feel like he can come out off a knee injury and then learn a complete new offense. It's not going to be good.
Well, see, that's the thing. We need a coach that's going to build around the quarterback.
Right.
We got to stop. We got to this whole theory that
we need a GM that's going to do it, because the GM we have here wanted to plug and play, and I think we're a pro.
I mean, that's if he sticks around.
Yeah. Any quarterback will fit in our offense.
Right. So I want to answer this question real quick. We got Daniel McMullen here. He says, what coaching changes aside from obvious need to happen to establish direction for the future? So to answer that question, I believe right now it's going to be just head coach. So until we find out for sure what is going to happen with Ballard, we'll know. Personally, right now, I think if Ballard is fired, I think our head coach is going to be number 1. It's going to be Harbaugh at the top of the list. If Ballard is not fired, just a new candidate for you guys. I want to get you guys' opinion on it. I don't know if you guys have seen much or not, but a new coaching candidate I've added to my list. So my list was Harbaugh is number 1, Eric Bieniemy is number 2, DeMeco Ryans is number 3, and number 4 for me now is Brian Johnson. This is the quarterback's coach from the Philadelphia Eagles. He has when he was back on Florida's staff when Kyle Trask was up for the Heisman, and back in 2020 he's joined the Eagles staff and has got Jalen Hurts where he's at now and started to develop him. So to answer your question there, if we were to get a guy like a Brian Johnson and be able to mold a guy like Anthony Richardson, or whichever quarterback we were to get, that would be a direction that I really would like to see. And think we could go from there. And I think anytime if we can get a quarterback with some mobility, typically or preferably a guy who can run like a 4.7 or something faster, would easily help out an offensive line. I don't know if you guys know anything about Brian Johnson. Have any opinions on that?
I don't hate it. Like, honestly, I don't hate any of the options. I'm just trying to think of, who, at this point, who's an Irsay type of guy? I mean, because clearly he's the one making those decisions. He already said he was going to. And I look at it like, I feel like the next coach is probably going to have some say on who the GM is, because I think Ballard's done after this year. No way he gets 8th year. No way. Not after today. Not after his overall collective. So to me, are you going to go with an experienced head coach and an inexperienced GM, or are you going to do, an inexperienced head coach with a second-time GM possibly, or a first-time GM?
If we're going with the idea that Jim Irsay is going to make this decision without Chris Ballard or without a GM, it's going to be a guy like Jim Harbaugh.
Or David Shaw.
Yeah, it's going to be somebody that's his guy. It's not going to be like Eric Bieniemy. It could be old boy from Philly because of the connection between us and Nick Sirianni. But it's going to be someone that Jim knows. It's just somebody that he's probably talked to before, he's crossed paths with before, because that's just the way Jim is. Or it's going to be a guy who is about to, coach in the Super Bowl as an assistant. Because Jim did that with Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy went to Super Bowl,
He did
fired.
Too.
Yep, and then we took Tony Dungy, and then Frank Wright went to the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. We hired Frank Wright. So clearly, Jim likes to pursue guys that are on winning teams. So I could tell. I'll say this: if it's not Jim, it's going to be somebody that's in that Final Four.
Ken Dorsey.
Do you think it would be a college coach, like Jim said when they asked him? Do you think he'd actually, besides Harbaugh, do you think he'll actually go and get a college coach, or is Jim Harbaugh the only college coach?
I think Jim Harbaugh is the only college coach.
Yeah, he just put that out there to just let it circulate and people to get their thoughts going.
If you look at in the history of having Jim, and him hiring coaches, they've never been from out of college. He's never hired a guy that's brand new, never coached the NFL before. He's not going to do that.
Hey, Troy said thoughts on Duggan from TCU.
Everybody here
loves Duggan from TCU. We all like Duggan, but Matt, that's Matt's number one guy.
So from what I'm tracking, they have him projected to go in the later rounds. I'm not sure they've got him as a day 3 for some reason right now. I think that's going to change by the time draft day comes around. He's going to end up being a first or second round pick. But he's my guy. I think that guy will come in and make massive changes. If I'm going to compare him to anyone, it's going to be a Justin Herbert style player, and I absolutely love Duggan. That's my number 1, with Anthony Richardson as my number 2.
I really don't have a favorite quarterback because, well,
yep, Troy, we agree.
I just don't. I said if I had to pick one, like a guy that I really, really like. Really like CJ Stroud, the kid from Ohio State, just because like he plays in a very much a pro style offense. I also really like Stanford quarterbacks. So Tanner McKee is another one. He's stupid tall at 6'7", has a little bit of mobility, but he's also, a Stanford guy, and I feel like Stanford guys typically end up doing well in the pros.
And there's a lot of quarterbacks that are like sophomores, freshmen, and juniors that I like a lot too. That's kind of hard for me. Like Caleb Williams, Drake May, that kid from Clemson's a true freshman. I'm telling you, he's gonna be the next Heisman.
I'll make this comment. I don't think Caleb would ever be drafted by us. I don't think he fits the whole Indianapolis culture style. I love
damn. We got a chance to get Caleb.
Go get him,
Caleb. I don't care what it is. I don't care what he cries about. I don't care if he fits the idea. I'm telling you right now, Caleb.
I guarantee he wouldn't. I guarantee we won't.
He's going to be that next guy. Him or Drake May. I like Drake May too, so I'm not gonna say just Caleb, but Caleb or Drake May, those guys are.
So then that answers this question. I know I've asked this before, and I think I asked it the last time in the comment section. If we don't take a quarterback this year, y'all gonna be pissed?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't take another season of this, dude.
It's not even just us.
I can't.
It's not even just us. If I'm thinking of the team itself, if we don't take a quarterback this year, if I played on this roster, I'm pissed. Because that's just a whole nother season of us being shitty. Because quarterback is our one missing piece, in my opinion.
And we've talked about that too, DeMarco. Like, we have another bad season. We have a lot of stars that are, I don't want to call them stars. We have a lot of guys that are third year into a 4-year contract. One more bad season, no matter what we offer these guys,
they don't come back.
They're not staying in Indianapolis, bro.
Nope. I mean, even if they don't stay, it's going to be wasted money.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be paying guys to lose seasons each and every year.
Yep. Hey, Michael Pittman, want to get a 4-year, $18 million a year contract to catch 100 balls and go for 500 yards because everything is a 5-yard out to you, So we can't run that risk because we're going to lose guys. Which, I mean, I know we've already talked about it too. It's going to come to a point where if we really want to get good, we're going to have to move some capital around, and we're going to have to get rid of somebody. And
yeah, that's why I was telling you guys earlier. It was like, I love Michael Pittman Jr., but at this point right now, I don't know if I would pay him that. Like he's looking at that Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh type deal, $18 million a year. I really can't say right now with the way we look. Like, at least if I had a quarterback to say, okay, Michael Pittman's for sure not the guy. But it's like right now, it's like I don't know if I'd pay him that. I'd rather just give Paris Campbell a 2-year deal to say, okay, we'll draft another wide receiver or something. Like, honestly, I mean, I just don't necessarily think I'd be up for $18 million to just not know who the quarterback is going to be.
No, not at all.
And then McMullen has something else here. He said, unfortunately, you guys keep hitting the nail in that Irsay is making key decisions right now. Ballard was hit with the luck retirement just like the rest of us in the beginning of his tenure. I think Ballard stays. So, yeah, I mean, at this point right now, it's been
An
what?
8th year? You think Ballard gets 8 years for having a losing record?
So
Bro.
that's the tough part for me there. It's like it's been 5 years since Andrew Luck retired. I think at this point, Ballard is like, you can't keep giving him that excuse anymore because at the end of the day, it is your job to be a GM. And what is your job? To replace talent with younger talent. So
And to win games.
whether a quarterback retired or he moves on, I gave him that excuse for a while too, but we're getting over it here.
I'll tell you the last time I used that excuse was after the first season after he retired. After we went and got Phillip Rivers, that excuse is gone because we had the opportunity to get a quarterback after the year with Jacoby Brissett. We had the opportunities, and instead he wanted to plug and play and draft elite players just to waste their prime.
So, although I do kind of give him some respect for doing what most GMs wouldn't do, and that's like getting the guy that your coach wants. And Frank Wright stuck his neck out and wanted to go get Phillip Rivers. He wanted to go get Carson Wentz. And most GMs won't do that. They'll just go get their guy. And
well,
so
Rivers worked out.
Yes, no. I know it worked out. I know it worked out, but I'm saying that's who Frank wanted.
If Rivers didn't retire, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Phillip won us some huge games.
And he did it by not throwing a pass over like 8 yards. That man was just because he's one of the smartest people on the field whenever he's on the field.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that knew his limitations. He would make an O-line look better than they were.
If Phillip's arm was still there, man.
You mean like Wentz did with his ability to move? Make the O-line look better than there was?
I mean, yeah, exactly. For all the fans out there or people that don't know, is like I was saying the other day, I mean, it might suck to hear this, but we should have kept Carson Wentz over Matt Ryan because we for sure wouldn't look the way we do right now.
I'll take 2 left-handed interceptions over 2 fumbles.
So Daniel makes a good point right here on a conversation. He said if Carson Wentz didn't play against the Raiders last year, this would be a different conversation. Honestly, Daniel, this is on Jim Irsay. That was an accountability issue. He put all the blame on Carson Wentz from the Jacksonville Jaguars game and from the Raiders game, all on Carson Wentz's shoulder when the entire team played like crap.
And Carson Wentz is out there in Washington laughing at us right now because Carson Wentz sitting back getting paid
$18 million a year, $22 million a year.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not getting hurt. You guys are the laughing stock of the league right now. And I'm not on that roster anymore. So
but we get that second round pick, do we not?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
You had to play a certain percentage.
Carson Wentz would have to start tomorrow and finish out the season for us to get a third round pick.
And he's not. They already named Tyler.
Or a second round pick, so we're gonna get a third round pick.
Yep.
So 2/3 instead of the high second and a mid second. Fair enough.
I told one of my friends, he's a Atlanta Falcons fan. I told him we'll give him a second round pick if he takes Matt Ryan back.
Hey, you give us Kyle Pitts and we'll give you Matt Ryan. I mean,
just give us Marcus. All right, give us Marcus Mariota. We'll use his mobility over here.
He's not even playing no more. Yeah, he's having knee surgery.
That's fine. Him with knee surgery is still faster than Matt Ryan.
No. Colts pulled the Colts today. The only thing would have been better if they pulled the Colts and gotten Baker Mayfield. Baker would have somehow, some way.
But then we would have won one of these games, and then we would have shit the bed the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Just like when we fired Marcus Brady and we lost, and then we fired Frank Reich and we lost, and then we benched Matt Ryan and we lost. And it was like, nothing ever happened right, Every change we tried to make.
Yeah. Colts just seem to can't get it right. I think Greg Doyle nailed it with his question and said, "Hey Frank, I don't think you guys really know what you're doing here." And I mean, this is our staff has been inept, just like this offense, and it shows.
That's facts. That's facts. So let's look a little bit forward real quick. Next week we got the Chargers. How much do you guys think that's going to be moved to Saturday rather than Monday?
It should. Colts don't deserve to play on prime time. Like when you suck that bad and you blow a huge 36, 38, 40-point, whatever
Put that shit on
lead,
prime time.
bro, you don't deserve to be on prime time.
Put
I
that
know
shit-
there's fans out there that say, well, primetime game's the only chance I can get to watch my Colts.
Hey,
Don't waste your time watching this piss poor team. They need to turn it to like Friday night, 5 p.m. when the high school kids have games. So like nobody watches because watching Colts games hurts. It's like gouging eyes out with a dull spoon. It's
Bro,
terrible.
I sat on my phone the whole day. I just didn't even really like the first half. I watched the game, and then once that second half started, they scored that touchdown. I was like, "Oh, here we go!" And I just went straight to my phone. Yep.
Start playing that.
No, I'd for sure put them on prime time again. If you have a questionable team, I want the Colts playing them because it's gonna look
Christmas.
The only reason they're gonna keep that game prime time is because Chargers are still playing for a fucking playoff berth.
It's Christmas. I wish that on nobody. That's Colts cold right there.
It's the day after Christmas. So we'll be all right.
It's the day after Christmas. Nobody's gonna want to watch that. Santa didn't drop that off to watch that.
So Daniel said here, Matt did show the ability to escape the pocket. When it didn't break down right away? There are a few positives. What good did you see today?
Good question.
I saw a
Like
lot of
Matt Ryan.
Let Damon answer this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Damon.
Well, when he did get out of the pocket, he wasn't forcing balls. He was either dropping down immediately for a sack, or he was throwing purpose incompletions. Positives that I saw today, I'll give you two. Defensive pass rush looked really solid. Our front four kept us literally what they could in the game. And then the second thing I would say is our running game doesn't look half bad. But the Vikings also don't tend to defend the run too well. So take that how you want it.
I'm gonna agree with Ashley here, and I'm gonna say the MVP of the game for the Colts was Chase.
Oh.
That man kicked what, 5 today?
Yeah.
Could have won us the game too.
5, and I think
Could've
they
won us
all
the
were.
game.
I think they were all over 50.
Yeah.
Two
I
of them
don't
were.
know.
I think 2 were like 40-yarders.
He does now have the single season Colts record for most 50-yard plus field goals in the league, which you could take that as part of our terrible offense too, right there. So
yeah, imagine that if we still had what's his name, the Specs, the boy would have
missed every single one of them.
we would have
be 1-12.
We would have lost 39-20.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, but what about that? Hey, here's another positive from Matt Ryan. What about that bogus ass fumble where he tossed the ball forward and we covered it for a yard gain? Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take it,
bro. And I was like, oh, that's definitely a fumble.
I will say this. The positives I will take from Matt Ryan is that he didn't have many turnover-worthy plays today. Most games that he's had this year, there's been quite a few where it's like, why are you throwing that? How did you fumble there? How are you not holding on to the ball? You're a 15-year veteran. Those were the plays that he was making that lost us many games. So I could tell you guys this. I mean, I guess you don't really get too many of those plays from special teams, but our defense has been solid all year. And if we could have played like that in a lot of games without the turnover plays from Matt Ryan, I think our record would probably be flipped. So
100%.
I will say that was the positives. Not the turnover-worthy plays. We didn't see too many of those today, and so
he had some of his best throws I've seen all season today too.
Hey, we were scheming some guys open. Guys were open. Did you see? It was nice.
In that one ball he threw, it was like a sidearm ball. Pittman dropped. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a double slant, double crosser.
Yeah.
Through a defensive lineman's hands in the air, sidearm on a dot, and Pittman goes right through the breadbasket. I thought Pittman's main thing was he didn't drop balls. Someone remind me of that, right? So,
I mean, he's still been bobbling them all year. He
definitely dropped a few today.
He has not been catching in one catch.
I will say the most annoying thing about this game, besides letting them come back and win, because I wanted that to happen, was Nate Burleson. They need to take that dude out of the commentary booth and put that motherfucker back into post-game analysis, because I don't know how many times the dude was like, "Oh, another big play," and it was a 6-yard gain.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
What kind of big play was that?
I'm pretty sure they had to beg somebody to call that game.
Yeah, like a 6-yard game is a huge play for the Colts. So like, let's
It wasn't us. It was
let's keep that
Minnesota.
in mind, man.
No, it was Minnesota. I'm just saying,
No.
like this dude was.
He's a homer.
For one, he
I mean,
was slobbering on Minnesota.
He's a homer. He
the
played for
whole game.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was saying. You shouldn't have players who played for a team calling that game.
That man was just. He was.
Because
Sitting
imagine
there.
if Pat McAfee wasn't calling. Imagine if Pat McAfee wasn't calling the Florida game and he was calling the Indianapolis Colts game. That first half, Pat McAfee would have been going crazy.
This boy was double dutching that shit.
No.
no.
Oh,
Right.
No.
Bro, I feel like if he would have went to the locker room after the game, he's in the shower with Kirk Cousins, bro. I'm telling you what, like he was all over that
Wearing
shit.
chains.
Yeah. Bro, this man was like, I'm telling you, bro. That was the only thing I was getting so irritated about him was muted it, man. He sounded like Chris Collinsworth anytime Patrick Mahomes is on the field. I'm like,
Now
bro.
here's a guy.
Yeah, now here's a guy. He's like, oh no, now here's a throw. Oh, it's a big play.
Do you ever think about this though? We have one of the coldest. I know this might be great out there, but we have a cold tight end group. We really do, and they're so underutilized. It's so bad.
Yeah, facts.
But Granted has his drops have been gone. Like
I'm pretty sure he's leading the league in separation right now.
You know, he has like 36 receptions this season. Like he's actually, if he been targeted more, he probably have 50 or 60. Jelani Woods completely taken out the second half, only put in run blocking schemes. Only put in run block. Why are you putting a receiving tight end in on run blocking sets to trick the defense?
He can do both. He's 6'8".
It's called inexperience. Inexperience of Parks. That's all that is.
I call it negligence.
It's both. It's both. Someone should sue him for just being fucking terrible at play designs and utilizing his players properly.
I mean, like shit, bro. If I was playing Madden, I'd just move Jelani Woods and put him as my slot receiver. Like,
bro,
who the fuck
I switched our whole ass playbook, which doesn't even put a tight end on the line unless I put him in motion.
It's almost like this playbook we got was Madden's suggestions of what worked for Frank, and we're just running those same 20 plays over and over. What did we see work for Frank?
Have you ever tried to run the Colts playbook on Madden?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Because
it's terrible.
It's all crossers.
It's all shotgun. It's all shotgun.
Jonathan Taylor runs a wheel route every other play.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible, man. It's just, oh my God. I don't know, man. My thing is Jeff is now literally Frank Wright because they get the same questions every Monday. Hey, how come after, this big play did Jelani Woods not get targeted again the rest of the game? Hey, why does this guy have a big game or, last week and then he's not used this game?
I'll have to go back.
I have to go back and see the tape. I'll have to go back
and look at the film for that.
And it's bullshit.
All that media training, man.
It's because Jeff said last week when they came back from the bye that he watched tape on every team we're about to play, and then he watched tape on us, and he said he was able to identify things going forward when it came to what players were balling out, what players weren't. If that was the case, Jelani Woods would have had 7 freaking catches at least and 130 yards.
Unless they're taking Jelani away.
No, you know what? He probably didn't see Jelani on film, so that's why he wasn't on the field.
That's facts.
Because he barely plays. I mean, you gotta look at the film, and you're like, "Who do I got here?" And you're like, "Who's that 80 kid? I barely see him." Okay.
Yeah, right. The biggest fucking tight end we have.
Yeah, runs probably the fastest 40 out of our receiving core.
Yeah, he's the fastest tight end we have. He's the biggest tight end we have, and he's got the best hands out of anyone on this roster.
It looks like we got a statement here from Jeremy Cantor. It looks like we need a wide receiver to lead this young group of veterans. I haven't been one of those guys. I really don't believe in the whole veteran theory. A lot of people were saying that in the offseason. They're talking about the Colts rookie receivers having issues with drops, and then you see veteran receivers go out and drop the ball. So I'm not really like a big believer in needing that because it's just like even if you have a veteran receiver, I mean.
Here's my thing. Michael Pittman is a veteran receiver. He's been in the NFL for 3 years. That's a veteran. I'm sorry, you've been here. You've had 3 different quarterbacks. You've been here. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You should be leading that wide receiver room. Mo Alley Cox has been here for 5 years at least.
Which is why I don't know why we paid him.
That's a veteran tight end. I mean, we have veterans. on that offense, in that receiver room, in the tight end room. We
He's
have
a
him
receivers coach. We got Reggie Wayne as a receivers coach.
and Reggie Wayne is a receiver coach. So yeah, I agree 100%. It shouldn't have to be a veteran receiver on this team because we already have them. They're there.
I wouldn't mind it though. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not
Don't
opposed.
you guys know we should have just signed Ty? I mean, come on, like we should have went and signed Ty, and he.
I'll be mad as fuck if he goes over 100 yards.
He
tomorrow.
gets his 3 catches a game where he can't get any separation.
Yeah,
and somehow he's supposed to be the GOAT, bro.
Ty's gonna have 3 catches for 27 yards.
Right.
Ashley says she thinks Pittman's frustrated at the QB. I think QB's frustrated with Pittman.
I think the QB should cut off his arm and try throwing it with his left hand because what he's doing with his right is terrible.
Nah, here's the thing, man. Pittman. I mean, come on. There were a bunch of times Pittman dropped that shit today when that ball was on the money. That ball was on the money. It was right there in his hands where only he could get it, and he didn't. There were other times where he ran some slants, and the ball was thrown to his chest, and the defender made a play. But that's just a simple play made by a defender. But the majority of the time where Matt Ryan throws to Michael Pittman, unless it's downfield because Matt can't reach over 12+ yards.
Ashley, the Cowboys play the Jags, and the Chargers play the Titans this weekend.
Oh yeah, like I don't know, man. You can't say that Michael Pittman's frustrated with Matt. They're probably frustrated with each other.
The defense and the special teams is frustrating with the offense. That's what I'll fucking tell you.
That's facts.
100%.
100%.
You have me out there on that defense and special teams, and you telling me we put up more points than y'all. You can go.
Gonna have a mutiny in that locker room.
Oh yeah, we finna pull out the boxing gloves and go.
Right.
Like while we're on the defense too, Zaire is playing really well. I really think he is. That guy goes back to the bench next year? Like, how does that work out?
Nope, he's not. Because if I'm any smart fucking GM, I'm utilizing Darius or Shaq, whatever y'all want to call him. I'm using him in trade talks.
I'm
using him.
Bro, no way.
I'm using him.
Bro, no way. Bobby Okariki's a free agent at the end of the year.
No, I'm signing Bobby Okereke. I'm signing Bobby Okereke. They're two
unless we're going to run like a 3-4 or a 3-3-5.
So you're going to give Bobby and Zaire a big deal?
I mean, I'm sorry, but they've earned it.
Zaire's already on a deal, right? I think
Zaire's on a 3-year, $18 million deal.
Me personally, I'm scared to pay any Colt. As soon as you put money in their pocket, they stop playing.
Except for Grover.
I understand that. I understand the idea to keep Shaq because of his, what he's been for us. But at the same time,
all he does is get turnovers.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, we need more offensively because anything defensively is not going to help us this year.
Yeah, but Matt, I don't think we need that much offensively though.
We need a consistent quarterback play, and I think we got offense figured out.
Yeah, I think that's
because the weapons are there.
You
re-sign a guy like
Perry. What I saw today.
Me personally, right here, I think what I would do is personally, I'd probably, I'd trade Mo Alley Cox.
Yep.
I'd see if Pittman was going to take a small team-friendly deal, and if not, I'd let him walk. I'd try and get a free agent wide receiver at that point. Draft your rookie quarterback, get you a right guard. More likely free agency than not. Go second round pick, depending on if Michael Pittman Jr. walks or not. Get you another wide receiver, or you could hold off on that and wait till Marvin Harrison Jr. next year, depending on how your rookie looks.
I think Pittman has one more year left on his contract.
He does. He's got one more year left. Him and James.
Okay, yeah.
So we could let MPJ walk next year, and then Marvin Harrison.
So so I'm gonna make him prove it to me with our rookie guy, and then you go. Then you go from there, and then I go boom. I'm re-signing Rodney McLeod. I want him for another year.
And
help keep grooming our safeties. Yannick, I'm giving Yannick a 3-year deal. Yep. I'd give him like a 3-year, $70 million deal. 3-year, $70 million deal. And then I'm making Isaiah Rodgers my starting corner, and I'm letting Faison walk, and I'm drafting me another 4th-round rookie cornerback.
You trading Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny is gone too. I'm
trading Gilly just because how old he is.
No,
Kenny's got it. Kenny would have to be re-signed. I think Kenny will be a free agent. I don't think there's any
no, he's got 3 years left on his deal.
2 years left.
Yeah.
I'm trading Kenny. Me personally, Kenny was my favorite Colt up until this season. But me personally, I just don't like the way he's played. I don't like the way a lot of these guys have kind of panned out. So I'd trade Kenny, Mo Alley Cox. And then I'd even see if I can get some talks for Braden Smith, and I'd try and sign Conklin from the Browns. That's what I would do personally.
Is Conklin about to be FA?
Yeah, he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Who?
My only thing is we're not going to pay 3 backers. And Zaire's balled out.
So, but that's why I said I'm keeping Shaq. We just paid Shaq, so I want to give him at least another year to prove to me that he can bounce back and be that guy.
Right.
As for Zaire and Bobby, you know, I'd probably pay Bobby over Zaire just personally, just because his coverage ability, his tackling, and his speed. Bobby runs a 4.4 or 4.5, something like that. And I would pay Bobby, and then for Zaire, I'd try and get him maybe on a 2-year team friendly deal.
But Zaire's already signed. He signed that big contract this last off season.
He did.
He signed a 3-year, $18 million deal, or a $10 million deal.
I think it was season before last.
Okay.
So,
well, then, then I'd try and keep Bobby on a team friendly deal, because I don't know if I wouldn't let Bobby walk, me personally.
Look, this is the time where we go to a 3-5-3 stack defense.
So then do you tag? Do you tag a linebacker? Because there's nobody on that defense worth tagging except for Bobby O. Because we're already going to pay Yannick.
No, but once you play Yannick, there's nobody else that needs to be signed.
What about Buckner? When's his deal up?
Buckner has 2 years left.
Next year, I think, right?
Year after. 2 years left. I think he got a 6-year deal when we signed him.
4.
So after Yannick, who we agree that gets signed this offseason, the only Colt worth tagging
Bobby
is Bobby. And you're willing to tag him.
No, not tag him. Sign him. Give him a 2-year deal.
You think he'll take it? Because I don't think Bobby would take it. I think
he'll take a 2-year deal. He's young enough to take a 2-year deal.
Fair enough. I just think today I think it's irresponsible to pay that much money in one position.
No, I agree. I agree with your point. That's why I say a 2-year deal, but it has to be team friendly. If it's not team friendly, then at that point you got to let him walk and get somebody else. Because you could put JoJo Doman in there. We got some capable linebackers.
You got EJ Speed, who's another good one.
Yeah, exactly. You got speed, so I'm not gonna say most of those guys can play exactly to Bobby's level. But it's just the NFL. It's how the business works.
We forgot about EJ, and EJ's done saved us on 3rd down, 4th down multiple times this year.
Yeah. So JD says, tuned in late, not sure if you covered it. What is the D-line struggles in the second half? I believe that the D-line struggles
they were gas.
I can answer that.
Secondary.
Coach. That's what was wrong with the D-line.
They're the biggest guys in the field, and they're having to go full speed for 30 minutes. Pretty simple.
Not 30, 60.
60 to 60.
Depth.
Yeah, and depth. Yeah, we got Cohort.
Dude, he's a stud.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
Linebacker.
He's a quality rotational piece.
Linebacker, special team linebacker. That's who that is.
Coward's nice.
Ashley Gilly is on a 2-year deal, so this is number 1 of the 2-year deal. Next year, he'll have 1 year left, and then he's a free agent after that. I wouldn't sign him after that anyway, because he'll be 34 years old. Just way too much.
And then
so do you keep Blackman in the role that he's in, and we let Nick Cross and Thomas play safeties, and McLeod play safeties like they've done?
I let Julian Blackman play out his deal because he's had too many injuries for me to pay him. So Julian has to play that out.
No, do you keep Julian in that nickel role that he played today?
Oh yeah, definitely. He played that to upper par. I love Julian Blackman's game today.
Yeah. Notice we didn't get killed by tight ends today.
He reminded me of Kari Willis with better coverage today, and he's a tackler. So
you like him as the in the box safety then, or that nickel?
I love everything Julian Blackman does. Except when he's first few games back.
Was this his first pick 6 too?
This was our first pick 6.
And he got it in the
2009. Our first pick 6 since 2019 from Kari Willis versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
And he got it in the box. So
we
took him away from that free safety spot.
And we let the 7th round pick play back there.
Well, he was a hybrid in college at Utah that played both corner and safety. So I was curious.
At Utah, you got to be a damn good defender. I remember Zach and David, we were talking about that game with the small nickel corner you got to be a pretty good defender to play in that.
They're old school team. They're a really old school, hard nosed team. Utah is. Love watching them play. But I wanted to bring up this question. This is what Jeremy brought up too. We have 15 running backs, and none of them are playmakers like Taylor. We need to get rid of Ballard and get a GM that'll get some playmakers and blockers for our QB. I think we have playmakers. I do. I think Jelani, Paris, JT, obviously when healthy. I don't know how much better he can get.
Yeah,
I don't know how much better you can get playmaker wise. You know,
to your point,
we need proven playmakers.
Yeah, my bad, Damon. But to your point, I was just gonna say, we have everything we need on our offensive line. I truly believe it. Outside of right guard, I think we just need to fix our right guard and get a more mobile quarterback, and I think we'd be okay.
I agree.
I mean, I'm not even mad at the left tackle, Ryman. Like he's only going to get better, and he gave up 1 sack today, 2 sacks maybe. But I mean, he's done well in the time he's played.
He's starting to remind me a lot of Costanzo.
He is. I mean, yeah, that's a good comp. Yeah.
Shorter arms though. I will say that.
Well, with that being said, could you slide him inside?
You could.
If the Colts get a guy who falls.
If we end up getting a guy like Orlando Brown Jr. from the Kansas City Chiefs, I'd easily slide Ryman in at right guard and be set because I'd pay.
Put him a right tackle and put Braden at right guard because Smith is a liability on the right side.
Depends. Yeah. It depends because, like I said, I'd try and trade Braden Smith and try and get Conklin from Cleveland.
Fair enough.
That's my cousin in here, half baked on YouTube. Like I said, CJ, don't be too happy about that win. The Vikings are pretenders, and y'all should have never let the Colts put up their season high in points. But good luck on that first round of that playoff exit by the 49ers or the Cowboys.
I guess he hasn't watched this show much because almost every week we talk about the Vikings being pretenders. Jeremy says that he believes we should stop signing so many running backs, and I kind of actually agree with him. I mean, we have so many running backs signed on this roster, and only like 2 of them touch the ball. So it doesn't make sense as to why we have so goddamn many. It's like we go into the game with 4 or 5 running backs.
Oh, no, Jeremy, we ain't got to stop signing running backs because they take like the lowest deal. I mean, you give a running back they get like 200, 300K. So
right.
We don't have any. We traded Naeem Hines, who was our highest paid back at I think it was like $6 million a year or $3 million a year, something like that. So I mean, running back is like the most easily disposable position, and that's why we traded Hines. So I mean, I don't see why we would stop signing backs. You need running backs, and
So with that being said, the ability to flip running backs so quickly in today's NFL, you trade Taylor?
No, I'm not
yet.
Taylor's not one of those guys that you.
I mean, my guy, he's only still 22 years old,
and he's on a rookie deal.
And the only reason he's not healthy is because our offensive line isn't getting the push that they are because everybody knows that they could just blitz our quarterback and every gap. That's another one of my cousins. My cousin AJ, he's laughing at me talking about my cousin CJ's Vikings because he's a Niners fan and he know that the Vikings suck too. So.
Speaking of the Vikings, what's up with Brock Purdy, bro?
You mean Niners?
That's what I meant. What did I say? Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Niners.
Hey, the dirty Purdy, he plays a beautiful game, man. Like, I mean,
how about that play calling, dude?
Hey, that's what I was about to say. Shanahan, that play call.
Shanahan's legit.
I feel like in that was it the fake screen and then the fake toss and then boom right up the middle of Kittle. That play, Kyle Shanahan is calling. I could be a quarterback in that goddamn system. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is a genius.
That's probably true. I think Shanahan's made Purdy look really, really good. I mean,
Trey Lance, next Colts quarterback.
Like I said.
Oh my God!
No, please no.
Look at the caption. Every quarterback under the sun. We don't want them.
You already know it.
Bro, my God.
The
the most annoying one is the Jordan Love. I'm sorry. I hated Jordan Love. We used to do the podcast when Jordan Love came in the draft.
Yeah, that's because everybody was saying that Ballard wanted him.
And I was like, nah, man, dude's trash. Nobody wanted to listen. I mean, we've seen that type of product. He's trash.
Yeah. I remember his interviews, too. His pre-draft interviews, people were like, are you excited? You're most likely going to get drafted to Indy. You remember that, too? People literally thought Love was coming out here.
Yeah, CJ, to your comment, you saying we do not suck, we are okay. When you are a 10-3 football team, it should not just be okay. Your goal is to win a Super Bowl, and if you're a 10-3 team and you're looking like a first round exit, that's not okay. But I mean,
Facts.
That's
if
kind
we
of
just want to
mid, dude. That's Minnesota Viking territory. Kind of mid.
exactly, that's what I've been trying to tell him. I've been trying to tell him. Jeremy says,
Contenders.
"Amen about the O line call." Yeah, man, I just really don't think we have too many issues. It's just quarterback and right
Yo,
corner.
this is Kyler Murray 2.0.
I
No,
hope so.
no, it's not. This is Tua Tagovailoa
Dude,
2.0.
this is a 4'10" munchkin playing quarterback
No, this is
at
Tua
Alabama.
Tagovailoa. They're both 6 foot. They're both small frame.
Dude, if he's 6 foot, I'm 7'1".
No, he's
Like,
smaller than Kyler. He's shorter than Kyler, and Kyler has 20 pounds on him.
yeah, this guy is 5'8".
I'm almost positive he's 6 foot tall.
DeMarco, look at the picture of the Heisman House with Bryce Young and Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray stands taller than him.
He is 5'8".
Yeah, he stands
No,
taller than him. Look
Dude
at that
is
picture.
munchkin.
Bryce Young
He's
is
6
6
foot.
foot.
He's 6 foot
He's
tall.
6 foot.
Like I
So
said,
is Drew Brees.
No.
6
he's
foot.
the same. He's the same height as Tua Tagovailoa and Drew Brees.
6 foot.
But hey, look, to my point, this is why I have said CJ Stroud over Bryce Young. Me personally, I don't believe smaller quarterbacks are fit for the NFL just because you give them one good hit, and it's just not necessarily something you want to be dealing with. So
I disagree with that type of mindset though. If the dude gets hit, like you're getting hit in college, probably harder.
yeah,
than
no,
you are
no,
in the
yeah.
NFL.
I'm not saying just like one hit, but I'm saying like some of those ones where like Tua's getting rolled to the ground, he gets tossed into the ground, and boom, he got a concussion.
Because like
You just don't see 6'4" quarterbacks getting tossed like that.
Lamar's kind of a skinny guy for his height, and he just took his first injury after all the hits he's taken.
No, back to
Yeah,
back.
but Lamar
years,
runs a
back to
4.2.
back. He's got back-to-back years with injuries.
How many games did he miss last year?
And Lamar's not small. He missed 8, 7 or 8.
Lamar runs a 4.2.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different too. You got that kind of speed. That's more like an Anthony Richardson.
I mean,
who's 240.
The thing that makes CJ elite is his accuracy. I just don't like it because he literally reminds me of Kyler Murray. Same system, same school.
Wait, you said CJ or Bryce?
CJ, my bad.
Okay. You said it reminds you of Kyler Murray, and you said same school.
I can't hear you.
You said CJ reminds you of Kyler Murray. And
no, Bryce Young reminds me of Kyler Murray.
Okay.
I mean,
he reminds me more of Tua personally.
I'm just concerned because is he a top dog or is he just playing with a bunch of dogs? It's the same concern I have with CJ.
He's a top dog to me. I love Bryce Young, the way he plays, the way he leads his team. I think Bryce Young, that's why Bryce Young to me is the number one quarterback in this draft because he gives you every intangible that says he is a winner. The only thing I don't like about him is just his size. That 6 foot being 194 pounds, to me personally, that's just too small. That's just me. But anything other than that, I mean, look at the way the guy plays. I mean, there's nothing that you can tell me about this kid's game that is bad. And look at when he leaves his team versus when he's out there. His team sucks when he's not out there. When he's out there on the field, he's a difference maker. He's a leader. He has accuracy. He's mobility. I mean, it's just, I mean, if it was me personally, we got the number one overall in the pick. In the draft, I'm taking Bryce Young if I have to choose just on intangibles alone outside of size.
Me too.
So you think he's worth a number one overall pick?
Yes,
absolutely.
To me, he is the most coachable, pro-ready quarterback. Start day one.
100%.
You also got to think that Alabama didn't make the playoffs because of the games that he didn't play in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Those are the games he lost.
When
they lost were without him.
When he had his good receivers last year, look what he looked like last year compared to this year.
I mean, he won the Heisman last year. I just don't like his size. Like, to me, I feel like size has a lot to do with how successful you are in the league. Because, I mean, I know the league is 95% passing, but you just can't sit in shotgun all the time.
I don't think it does anymore because a lot of defenders are smaller than they were 10 years ago when we used to have these quarterbacks that were 6'5", whatever. The NFL as a whole, the athletes are getting smaller. quarterbacks, wide receivers are getting smaller. How hard is it now to find a wide receiver that's 6'5", 6'6"?
Pretty hard.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's hard.
so predicated around speed.
Yeah,
But
about 10, 15 years ago, they were a dime a dozen. You're finding them everywhere.
Yeah.
Now they're shorter. They're smaller build. They're all about their speed. Quarterbacks are smaller. They're more mobile.
Better athletes.
Yeah, better athletes. I mean, Cam Newton's probably one of the anomalies with being 6'5", whatever, and being as big as he was and still being as athletic as anybody. So
yeah. So that's why
worry.
I love Bryce Young. It's just like when you look at Miami Dolphins, think about how many games Tua's missed this year, and it's like, are you really ready for your quarterback to get hit and have to miss a game, hit and have to miss a few plays? And so that's the thing with smaller quarterbacks.
I mean, we dealt with that with Andrew Luck, and he was 240.
Exactly. I mean, it's tough.
Do you think his play style? Because I feel like Luck's play style is what killed Luck. He would never slide.
Yeah, it was his play style for sure. I think with a pocket quarterback like a Bryce Young, because he's more of a pocket guy, that's a guy you have to protect. So if that's the case, then you have to for sure make sure if you get Bryce Young, you got to shore up left tackle, you got to shore up that right guard position, and you got to make sure you're protecting a guy like that. And that's why I like Anthony Richardson, because his upside to me is so high with his mobility. To me, he's like an in between a Cam Newton and a Josh Allen.
I think he's Will Levis.
Main question for me is his accuracy.
I think Richardson has the ability to be like a bigger Jalen Hurts. I mean, I know that sounds terrible, but like that is.
No, that's not.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback either, but I think that he's a bigger Jalen Hurts.
Yes, can you fix that accuracy? That's the main question there.
Right.
Those type of guys. Jalen Hurts was able to do it. So, Jeremy Cantor is saying, what do you guys think about going after the Georgia Bulldogs QB Stetson Bennett? I think we're all at a no there.
Yeah, he's not even on my mind at all.
Stetson Bennett is like a older, lesser version of Hendon Hooker.
I had a Doug Flutie jersey. You leave that man alone, all right?
Hey, you leave the 5'7", 120-pound quarterback, the great Canadian QB alone. Doug Flutie's my dude.
You leave that man alone, all right?
He could throw a football about 90 yards at that size too. So
he didn't get enough maple syrup growing up, right? That man alone. I had his Chargers jersey, and I used to rip that shit all the time just because I like Flutie.
That's just because you two are 100 years old.
I remember when Flutie was balling with Buffalo, and that dude had a sign that said, "I'd rather have a little Flutie than a big Johnson," because they had Doug Johnson as their quarterback. So like, that's when the Colts were in the AFC East, man, and it was good.
Yeah, my cousin said, that's always the goal. This is our year. Next year will be our year. And I stand with my team. Yeah, I mean, you got to stand with your team. But, I mean, you got to see the red flags, bro. And if I was a Vikings fan, I'd be like, God damn.
In my opinion, this year is not your year. Next year is not your year.
Yeah.
The year after that's not your year.
You gotta get you a quarterback that's not Kirk Cousins.
Dang, Chad, you late.
I know. Usually you're the first one here, Chad. What's up, man? What's going on this weekend?
He had to wake up from his nap. He probably got too drunk during the game.
Jeremy Cantor also said people are saying we're going after the Tennessee QB in the draft. Jeremy, I don't necessarily believe that, because me personally, unless you just don't see a quarterback in this draft that's not your guy, then you go after a Hendon Hooker in like the second round because of his injury and whatnot and his age. So personally, I mean, I can see why. I mean, Colts fans are going to debate.
Colts won't waste a pick. If they don't find a quarterback in the first round, they're just going to draft best player available and not worry about quarterback.
Yeah, Colts fans are going to argue about whatever quarterback they want, and that's why I'm kind of over it, because nobody's going to have the same idea of which quarterback they want. So me personally,
Baker.
Yeah, it's just the Colts need to get their guy. I honestly, if they don't draft a quarterback this year, I'm going to be pissed off, and I probably won't watch the first 5 games.
Give me Jacoby Brissett.
And then,
go get Jacoby. Hell yeah.
No.
Hey, Jacoby had the Browns in front of that division for at least a week or two.
I mean, he was going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. He'd be that dude.
Yeah, so did we. Tied with the Texans week 1. We were the top of the division.
Hey, that's all right. Jacoby had us at 5-2.
And he had T.Y. looking like T.Y.
Yeah, he did. And that Denver game, boy, that catch on the sideline.
I'll never forget that throw. You can't forget a throw like that.
We won that game because of that play.
And then he got Sandy and sucked. So, like.
Well, he got hurt, all right. And then we had Brian Hoyer.
The destroyer, the greatest Colt quarterback of all time.
The quarterback that's played for
destroying people's hopes.
He's played for every
that
team.
That guy was a choker, bro. He threw the worst interceptions ever. I literally thought he came in that Pittsburgh game and tried to lose it.
Oh, don't even get me started on it. Y'all remember the year the Dolphins were supposed to be the worst team in NFL history, and he lost to them. And I think Matt was at that game. Were you?
No.
Okay.
2019.
Was that the one where Fitzmagic beat us?
Yeah.
And Frank Gore?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep.
Hell no. Jeremy Kenter. Jordan Travis is, if he was in the draft this year, he'd be going undrafted.
From Florida State? That kid's a bum.
Yeah, he'd be going undrafted if he was in the draft this year. No.
I watched all the Hurricane games. That kid's a bum from Florida State.
Dugan. I'm just going Dugan.
Yeah, no, that's why Jordan isn't coming out this year, because he'd be going undrafted.
All right. Let's go ahead and do some locks for the Chargers-Colts game next week. I'm going to go first. I'm going to lock that we lose.
Well, that's easy. That's a low-hanging fruit there, Matt.
Y'all are the ones that always go easy.
He stole the easiest lock. Oh, Miami Dolphins just scored. It's 12-14 right now.
Oh, I got Herbert throwing for like 500 yards and 4 TDs. That's my lock.
All right.
Herbert has a career day.
Yeah, it took Hines only like 5 weeks of being there to score a touchdown, Ashley.
Sounds about right.
Oh, Buffalo scored too?
Yeah, Buffalo's up 14-12 right now.
Oh,
how many TDs he scored with us this year? 1?
I want to say 2. I'm not sure.
It's halfway there.
He wanted to go to Buffalo to not get playing time. That's hilarious. I gotta find a lock for this week. Where's it at? Is it in Indianapolis?
It's in Indy, yeah.
Oh God, gross.
Yeah. I think Zach might be right. Herbert might throw for like 400 yards a second.
Easy.
You know what? My lock is going to be is that this defensive line is going to have 4 sacks.
That was going to be me.
That's
Unique
my
2
lock.
sacks. That's a unique 2
That's
sacks.
my lock.
I'm going to do a different lock. I'm going to lock one that says Matt Ryan fumbles at least once.
Yeah,
that's kind of low.
Oh, you know what?
You taking the over or under on that? Under one?
Bosa should be coming back that game.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I'll up it then. I'm going 3. I'm going 3 fumbles by Matt, or 3 turnovers total by Matt Ryan.
Yo, Colts O-line giving up at least 3 sacks then.
Watch. I bet you Bosa's gonna come back. Derwin James is gonna come back. Watch, they're gonna have their full squad that game.
All right, final score predictions.
27-17 Chargers.
All right, Zach.
I'm going 35-10 Chargers.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think they'll put up 30.
Damon.
24-17 Colts.
Damn. Drinking that Kool-Aid, bro.
All right.
There we go.
I'm going.
I don't want us to win this, which is why I didn't say for us to win, because I think we, just like with the Vikings this week, I think we could win, but I don't want us to win, so I'm picking Chargers.
I'm going. Let's see. I'm going to go 24-23 Chargers.
Only way the Colts win is Brandon Staley or that coach, Stanley, whatever his name is, just completely says, I'm going for it on every 4th down, and they lose the game that way.
You can bank on it, bro.
Yeah, you can bank on it. Dude is not good.
I don't understand how he's a head coach.
Yeah, they want him fired. And I don't think they're going to fire him mid-season. They're going to fire him at the end of the season.
He is the definition of a Madden player as a head coach.
Really? Yeah. I don't watch Chargers games. Like, the only games I watch are Colts games. That's why I say
they went for it on their own 30-yard line last week on 4th and 8.
Yeah, bro.
Damn, they don't punt?
Listen.
He is definition of a Madden player being a coach.
Well, listen. Minnesota went for it on 4th down on their own 30 today, and all we got
they had to
field goal out of it.
No,
we were had 30 points.
Yeah, they had to though. I mean,
and they won because of it.
No, Staley would go for it. Staley would go for it in his own territory while they're up by 10. Like, he's something else as a head coach.
Oh man.
What else? What was the other rant I had? What was the other one? I know it was the quarterbacks.
Hey, here's a hot take. If we're talking about quarterbacks, I got one. I think Justin Herbert is Andrew Luck 2.0.
Oh, I think so too. He's already beat up worse. He's beat up worse.
Yeah, dude. I see a lot of similarities between the two of them.
We can't say he's not. I mean, he's beaten Andrew. He's beaten Andrew Luck's numbers for the first 3 years in the NFL.
We are literally going to watch Andrew Luck's twin on Monday if they don't move that game.
Okay, so they like to put up the stats and show you the yardage and whatnot, but through the first 3 years, Andrew Luck had 3 playoff appearances. How many has Justin Herbert has?
Well, he hasn't gone to the playoffs.
Exactly. He ain't Andrew Luck.
All right, but listen, hold on.
I'm talking based on pure talent, homie. I'm not talking about team around him.
That's a terrible take. That's a terrible take, DeMarco, and that's your worst take ever. Why? Because Andrew Luck played in the fucking AFC South, not the AFC West, with Patrick fucking Mahomes.
I don't want to hear it.
And with the Raiders before they became trash, and with the Broncos who were competitive. That's a terrible take.
I'm not trying to hear it because Andrew Luck was running with the 32nd ranked run.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter. He had to beat Matt Schaub. He had to beat fucking Wissenut. He had to beat fucking Blake Bortles. That's it. He had no competition in the South. There was none.
He was in the playoffs and had to beat the Kansas City Chiefs being down 35-0.
And that took him 3 years to do.
No, that wasn't 3 years. No.
Yes.
That was in the second year.
That was Deflategate. We beat them. We went and beat Denver, and then we lost to New England.
Okay. He did that with no defense. He did that with no defense. Look at this Chargers defense.
That's fine. We had no division competitiveness at all.
Matter. No,
yes, it does. How do you make the playoffs?
You telling me
win
right
your
now,
division. He won his division with zero competitiveness.
You telling me right now, if Andrew Luck was on that team in that division, he's not making the playoffs for 3 straight years?
No.
Hell no.
In the AFC West?
No, bro. That division is loaded.
I'm with DeMarco here.
Not.
I'm with DeMarco here.
He would be in the playoffs,
I'm with DeMarco.
Look at the Broncos and look at the Raiders right now. They are absolute garbage. You telling me that Chargers team wouldn't have 8 to 9 wins right now with Andrew Luck?
Bro, I'm telling you, based on talent, Herbert is as good as Andrew Luck is, if not better.
I mean, I guess you could try and say talent, but he's not the same guy up here. Andrew Luck was a scientist on the field up here, bro. I don't like that comparison, bro. Andrew Luck was a different animal.
They're the exact same quarterback, 100%, homie.
If you take the linebacker out of Andrew Luck, he'd have been the greatest damn player of all time.
You get a soft quarterback because that's what made Andrew Luck was that linebacker.
No, you take the linebacker and Andrew Luck, he'd have been the greatest damn player of all time. I promise you. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. I don't like the comparison. I don't like when they want to show the yard.
Dog, you watch that game. Watch that game Monday night.
We can agree to disagree on this, but Andrew Luck was in the easiest conference.
We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do it because to me, Patrick Mahomes is fucking great. But I'm telling you right now, if Andrew Luck would have protected himself the way like Patrick Mahomes does, nobody is close. Nobody.
I mean, Mahomes is Brett Favre 2.0.
No, he better.
More efficient.
Zach, you're alone on this one.
He's Brett
he had Aaron Rodgers 2.0.
I mean,
a bit more interceptions.
No, Brett Favre. Brett Favre did it first. Then Patrick Mahomes came second. Just like
Brett Favre will forever lead the league in interceptions. Nobody's gonna get that far.
That's not true. Jameis Winston came fucking close.
Yeah, but he's not going to play for long enough.
That's not true. He's going to play long enough. Saints are going to fuck up and keep that man.
He hasn't played for 2 years. He won't catch up to Brett Favre.
He played the start of the season.
Yeah, I think
and then he was
the only
done.
one that could have
So,
caught
And then he
up.
got hurt.
Yeah,
So then they put in Andy Dalton.
No, but he'd need like 14 more years to play. He's not going to play that long.
He'll do it. He'll be all right.
Nah.
He'll make it happen. Because he's going to come to Indy and he's going to throw fucking 30.
Nah, see, here we go.
I hope not. Please don't.
No.
Every QB under the sun.
Happens,
Jameis.
If we keep trying to trade for quarterbacks, we're going to have to change this from the Kicking with the Crew about the Colts, and it's going to have to be the NFL podcast because I'd be done with the Colts. Yeah, it just ain't going to work for me.
Oh, I can change the logo easily, and I can put something else in there.
I mean, that's what we would have to do if we're going to keep trying to swap out quarterbacks. That ain't going to work.
You don't think we'll get Aaron Rodgers, the betting favorite next year? Like,
Stop it.
Everyone thinks we're going to.
Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, whoever want to spend some money to FanDuel and lose their money, go ahead and make that bet because I don't think it's happening.
I don't think it is either. I was just, throwing it out there, throwing a hot take out there like Herbert.
I will say for you guys, though, I had tossed it out to you guys. Nobody really responded to me, but
it's probably bogus.
No, the Tom Brady.
No.
You guys wouldn't take Tom Brady as a stopgap?
I would love it. Bring him to Indy. All he does is win championships.
Damon, you got to break the tiebreaker here. You wouldn't take that? I hate Tom Brady. I honestly, I don't.
Do you see
like
him this year?
His team sucks.
He sucks.
You spend money and build a defense around Tom Brady, you get all the calls.
No, listen, the dude spent more money on his fucking face being sucked in than he did on performing well. Like,
so
come
look,
on,
okay,
man.
Okay. So Matt, you telling me this right now? Look.
5 years ago, Tom Brady all day.
Draft a rookie quarterback. Sign Tom Brady on a 10-year deal. We got the not 10-year deal, $10 million deal, 1 year, $10 million deal. And then he gets to sit here and work with all the weapons that we got and come in with a new coach.
Hell yeah. Sign me up.
What?
All Tom Brady does is bring championships anywhere he goes.
You won't this year?
I hate Tom Brady, but I would take a chance.
He has more weapons in Tampa Bay than he would have here.
Thank you.
The Colts would have to spend. First, they would open up his paychecks.
You're acting crazy if you think Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce are better than Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Well, hell no.
I think they are.
You are high as shit.
DeMarco, put the coat down.
No. I think they are. And if you sit here, what's the name?
You're crazy.
Mike Evans is getting old. He's getting out of there. And then Godwin is injured. He hasn't looked the same at all. And I guarantee you, if Tom Brady was throwing the ball, you wouldn't have these same issues. Tom Brady gets the ball out fast. He get the ball to his playmakers. You actually be able to see.
Pippen ain't been catching the ball this season.
He wouldn't have time to throw the ball. The man's slower than Matt Ryan.
No, that's the whole point. He gets the ball out faster than anybody.
But our dudes don't get open as fast as the people he's used to.
They wouldn't have to if he's putting it in their gut.
He wouldn't be because he'd be getting hit. He's gonna have people in his face.
No,
Tom Brady would retire at halftime.
Pierce Campbell sitting like this at Matt Ryan.
That'd be
Tom Brady would have already had it in his gut.
Listen, that was one play. And Matt Ryan tried to throw it, and he couldn't make it happen. He had to roll out.
That's been 50 plays this year, even in the Kansas City game where Matt Ryan got sacked, and we got lucky that Chris Jones said whatever he said and got the penalty.
We have zero weapons. The only thing we have over here that they don't have is Jonathan Taylor.
And he's not even playing hardly right now.
And he's not even playing right now.
Yeah, we got good defense. They don't even have that in Tampa.
And the Bucs don't have a defense. I'm telling you right now. I would take that.
I would not.
That would be the one vet.
Hey, I would have taken him. I would have taken him when he left New England.
And you don't have to trade. And you don't have to trade anything. It's just a walk in the door. No. For $10 million.
For $10 million, you tell Tom we're going to go out and be crazy active and go get the guys you want. You build that offense.
Here's my question.
Here's the other thing. Tom Brady's not going to come here. Why? Because Indy doesn't have.
He already tried to.
He doesn't have IG models over here. He's got IG models down there in Tampa.
Yeah, he does. He has IG. Here's Pat McAfee. That's an IG model. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? The biggest IG model you're going to get.
Wait, does Tom really want one? He had one in Giselle. Too much effort.
Yeah, too much effort.
I'm sorry.
Tom's 45. He ain't got time for that. He only wants to play ball.
No. Hey, I'm just saying.
Tom Brady's been hitting up on these girls, man. You ain't seen him on Instagram?
I'm just saying. That's the only vet that I would really kick the.
Wait, Indiana has great crack hoes everywhere, dude. So
call these motherfuckers toothless.
Stop.
You can go to Terre Haute.
But not in all seriousness, I want a rookie. I'm just saying,
like I said before, I'll take Lamar. If Lamar walks,
I don't know. I'm kind of getting off of Lamar train with the injuries and
I still take Lamar.
I'll take Gardner Minshew. He's a free agent next year. Oh yeah,
Stop it.
Minshew magnet.
Hey, Chicago don't seem to like Justin Fields.
No, I'm not sold on that.
What?
That's who I want.
Justin Fields is the only positive thing.
I don't buy that.
No, I think he's saying he don't believe Chicago is over.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't buy that either.
That's all I've been hearing, man.
I'd take Justin Fields.
I would take Justin Fields in a heartbeat too.
Right, I would too, but I think
we wanted to draft him that year that he came in. I think we all discussed that on the podcast.
He's about to be on that Jalen Hurts route if he can fix his accuracy this next year.
Yep.
If they get him some damn weapons too. If they get him some
Chris
receivers,
guy. That's
if he had all receivers.
Yeah, I'll even say that. We got more weapons than Chicago for sure.
Ballard was going to take him.
They got Claypool.
Claypool sucks.
Yeah,
and Khalil Harris.
Claypool's trash.
Claypool is just
Mapletron.
Claypool is just an angrier Alec Pierce.
Mike Tomlin makes Pittsburgh players what they are. Once they leave, they're always trash. Le'Veon Bell. The only one who left Pittsburgh and was good was LeGarrette Blount. Antonio Brown left. Trash.
Antonio Brown was good. He
was just good against the Colts.
Huh?
LeGarrette Blount wasn't even good. He was just good against the Colts.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell left. He sucked. Antonio Brown went psycho.
Bud Dupree with the Titans.
Yep. Martavius Bryant ain't done shit when he left. Chase Claypool's not doing anything now that he left. So it's like
James
the players
Washington.
in Pittsburgh. Yeah, players in Pittsburgh need to just stay in Pittsburgh until they retire because once they leave, they're not good. Mike Tomlin knows how to use who he has.
Well, he's also was a receivers coach, so that explains why his receivers.
There's rumors that he's going to get traded.
Who? Mike Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin, that the Panthers are going to offer.
You know what? I seen that too. I guess
the Panthers are going to offer the Steelers mega picks to get Tomlin as coach.
Are we not on that? Because I would do that.
No. Somebody said. I guess he has major ties to the Panthers organization.
Yeah, Tepper. Tepper used to be like partial owner of the Steelers, or minority owner of the Steelers, or whatever. So and then he bought the Panthers.
On the Panthers.
He said he's going to try and trade for Tomlin.
But if I'm Mike Tomlin, I don't know if I want them Panther problems because they have no quarterback. And then,
but they have a high draft pick.
They draft one.
Yeah, but who are they going to get? They're going to get a later quarterback.
No, they're like 11th right now. They'll be all right.
Yeah, nobody's going to be there.
Bullshit.
Hey, they drafted that kid last year from Ole Miss.
He sucks.
He's been hurt.
Pickett? Oh, no. Pickett's Pittsburgh.
That was a wasted pick.
No, that dude last year that Damon and I fucking loved.
No, that was a wasted pick. Y'all don't know why you guys love him. Talking about what's this goddamn the guy that gets no play. Why are they still putting us in the hunt, bro?
Because we got a tie.
They're showing us at 4-9-1. I don't know why.
But I thought we were out of the. This loss put us out of the playoffs.
We're number 14, and if we win out, and a couple of losses for the Chargers, Jets, Raiders, Browns, and Jaguars, Steelers, we could get right back in it.
Oh,
Matt Corral, dude, he's the GOAT.
He sucks. No, he sucks.
Oh my god.
I don't think Mike Tomlin want to go play with that kid.
And
I really already know he doesn't like Sam Darnold.
All they have is PJ Walker on that roster. PJ Walker and Matt Corral.
Start him. PJ Walker's a baller. He doesn't have the greatest accuracy or the strongest arm, but the dude is a baller.
Yeah, he's a gamer. He needs to be playing. He's the guy I would roll with.
Didn't that man win MVP in that other league?
XFL? Yep.
Yeah. That man was a monster over there. I mean, obviously it was XFL, but
I'd take and get another quarterback.
I would take Mike Tomlin as a head coach right now.
We'll take Tomlin, but I'm not taking their quarterback option.
He's my favorite coach, active coach. I mean,
as a matter of fact,
I would love.
I like
matter of fact, if I'm Mike Tomlin, I'd actually keep their draft pick, get that wide receiver out of TCU. That's a big deep threat. Probably suck for another year, and then go get you and then go get you another quarterback like Drake May or that boy Caleb, and then boom, the Panthers could be deep in that NFC playoff race.
The funny thing is, though, Here's the thing, though. The NFC South is so trash that Mike Tomlin could go over there and make Carolina the division winners.
I mean, but I'm saying
year.
Carolina's defense is so good that if they got that receiver that I was just talking about, pair him with the DJ Moore, and then they got a couple of running backs that aren't like top tier or anything, but they can run the rock, and they got a good offensive line. They just got 2 offensive tackles. I'm saying
They got Chuba Hubbard and Foreman, and then
Mike Tomlin would make the Panthers competitive next year.
Yeah, imagine
no matter
Tomlin,
who he's got at quarterback.
Imagine Tomlin with a Mahomes 2.0 like Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
boy,
that would be nasty.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So yeah.
So
Tomlin or Harbaugh.
Yeah, I want Harbaugh.
Yeah, let's get him. Let's call Ursay today.
I was hoping I was going to see him over at this fucking All-American Bowl, but yeah, there was nobody there. Nobody. I didn't see nobody. And these high school kids were trash.
Dude, they're all Americans.
No, they were trash. They were trash.
They were all Americans from the TV show.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure they were bottom of the All-American list because.
Well, yeah, because the real ones are down in Florida. January 3rd is that big one.
San Antonio.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. San Antonio on January 7th is the big one. That's the one where dudes that like 5-star recruits or that already signed with like Clemson and Alabama last winter.
Yeah. I had a high school teammate, a high school quarterback played in that, and he said it was like wild. I mean,
yeah, you get some pretty good guys. Feels like an NFL game in there.
I mean, I played with the kid who committed to like LSU, Indiana, and then went to Notre Dame, transferred from Notre Dame to like Cincinnati. Yeah, Gunnar Kiel. He was like the number 1 rated quarterback in the nation, best pro style quarterback. I mean, he was legit at the time.
Wow, the refs just giving the Bills flags.
Yeah, of course they're not going to let Miami win.
That's tough. Gabriel Davis went to the ref and was like, and the ref threw a flag.
That's what happened today to us. Shit.
Hey, just a thought, but do you think Ursay tries to make a play for a coach like Deion Sanders? I mean, you see what Deion Sanders did at Jackson State, and then what he's doing to Colorado. Do you think he goes out and gets that crazy?
That don't work in the NFL. That don't work in the NFL. It only works when you have full power of everything that you're doing, and then if you can actually coach on the field.
I'm not sold on primetime. Not yet. I'll see what he does next year with Colorado, but I'm not sold on him.
Yeah, me neither. I love primetime, but not in the NFL.
I do too. Like Deion, what he did at Jackson State was badass, and then I think what he's going to do at Colorado, I mean, take them back to the days of them actually being competitive. But I
mean, they only had 1 win last year, and they've been in it for the last like 20 years. So it shouldn't take them much. You get 3 wins, and it's like, yay!
Right. I mean, if they win more than 1 game, it's a successful year. But I say, if he's there 3 years, that 3rd year, if they don't have 8 wins,
I mean, it's going to be easy for him. He's already got a couple 4-star recruits.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's going to have Travis Hunter, the number 1 player of 2022. He's probably going to enter the transfer portal, leave over there. His son, Shador Sanders, is already going over there, quarterback. So he's going to get
the only reason why I ask this, if you see the Colts do something crazy like that, is do you think Ursay takes a stab if he misses Harbaugh? If Harbaugh is 100% stuck at Michigan, do you think he throws stupid type of money at Lincoln Riley and says, "Hey man, your offense works. Why don't you try it at the NFL level? Come coach my guys. Have complete control."
No, if Harbaugh doesn't work, I'm pretty sure he stays NFL. I couldn't imagine him going to the college route any further because I just don't think that's smart. You do that, you take the risk of really setting your team back for the next 7 years.
Kind of like Carolina did with Matt Rule.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just mess up and make a big mistake. I don't think Lincoln Riley is ready to be an NFL head coach. And he's going to want to be a play caller. He end up just like a Cliff Kingsbury. I don't think that's a smart route.
All right, everybody. let's go ahead and get off of this tonight. We've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes. So,
All right, man. Glad to have you guys come through. Hope nobody's feelings are truly hurt about this game today. Don't let your emotions get inside of it. We need to get us a quarterback, so the higher the better for us. I know it's a tough loss, but just kind of keep your emotions out of it for the rest of the way. I know it's tough. Nobody likes to lose, but thanks everybody for joining in.
So next week we're not gonna do a show because Saturday is Christmas Eve, so I'll be too busy with the family to do a show, and then Sunday's Christmas, so we'll take next week off. Pray for a Colts loss, and then we'll be back the week after, which actually I believe is New Year's. I don't know what day New Year's falls on this year. Sunday. So yeah, so that next Saturday's New Year's Eve. I don't know if you guys want to do a show that day or not, or we just do one on a different day instead of a Saturday. We can discuss that on the side. I don't really want to take 2 weeks off. So
hey, do me a favor, fellow viewers and watchers, just because I'm never on here, but I enjoy getting you guys involved. Tell us who you guys would take with your first pick. Quarterback, D end, whatever. Like, no wrong answers. We just want to see active people who are actively involved, and what's your all's thoughts?
Yes, most definitely. Give us your opinions.
Facts. All right, everybody. It's a good show. It's always go Colts, lose, please.
Thanks everybody who joined in tonight, all the new viewers and whatnot, and all the commentators. We appreciate you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, whatever you can do to help to get the podcast growing.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Colts.
Yes, sir. Go Colts.
He is going to drop the throw. Fires deep along the right sideline for Alec Pierce. He's got it. Touchdown! Touchdown! Alec Pierce spikes it into the end zone. Touchdown! INDY. A 32-yard grab over the shoulder snag.